Good morning to all of you. We are discussing the regular expression. And in this regular expression, we have discussed about conversion of finite automata to the regular expression. So one important theorem, that is nothing but your Arden's theorem, we have discussed. The equation given by Arden's theorem has the solution, and it is the unique solution that we have also proved it. And from with the help of using Arden's theorem, we are able to write down the regular expression for the given automata. The steps we have seen that. So if automata is given, so first convert or first write down the state equation for each state in the given automata. Then start with your start state, right, and try to convert each equation in the form of your Arden's theorem, or solve the state equation of the states with the help of your Arden's theorem, so that step by step you will able to get the regular expression for the each state. And we conclude with your final state. We If we find out the regular expression for the final state, we conclude that yes, this is the regular expression for the given automata. So that already we have discussed. In this today's lecture, we are going to see a few more examples on the conversion of finite automata to the regular expression. So see this one: conversion of finite automata to regular expression using Arden's theorem. Construct the regular expression. Construct the regular expression from given DFA. Few more examples are here. So DFA is given the state Q0, sorry, the state Q1 having input symbol 0. So first we have to identify the input edges. So on Q1, we have two input edges. This is one input edge, and this is Q1 on Q1 itself, and it is from Q3 on Q1. Q2, the input edges are 1, 2, and 3 are the input edges, and on Q3, single input edge is there. So the very first step is to identify the input edges and accordingly write down the state equation for each state. So for Q1, I can have epsilon, and as you know that for the start state, we must have to add the epsilon here, plus then Q1 dot 0. So Q1 dot 0 coming to Q1, plus Q3 dot 0 means Q3 on 0 input, it is coming to Q1 state. This is the state equation for our Q1 state. Then for Q2 state, we have the state equation. These are the three edges. So three components are there, or we can say these are the three entities are there: Q1 dot 1, Q2 dot 1, and Q3 dot 1. The state equation for Q2 and Q3 is equal to Q2 0. Only one incoming edge is there. That's why Q2 dot 0 is the state equation for state Q3. And you know that this Q1 being the final state, we have to solve the equation for Q1. But while solving the equation for Q1, we have to consider the entities, right? Q1 0 is there, yes, no doubt, but Q3 0. So we have to solve this Q3 0. So Q3 0 means we can replace with the help of this Q2 0. But Q2 0 means this total entity will be there. So step by step, we'll see how to solve this equation. So since final state is Q1, hence solve the equation for the final state Q1 only to obtain the regular expression. Now see how the steps are taken here. Consider the equation Q2, because you require Q2, though we have to solve it for Q1, but this Q1 is depending upon Q3, and Q3 is dependent upon Q2. So ultimately we have to solve the Q2. Means step by step we first solve Q2, then it will obtain the value for Q3, and once we obtain for Q3, we will get a final regular expression for our final set, that is nothing but our Q1. Means it is a total mathematical process. So see here, Q2 equal to Q1 dot 1, Q2 dot 1, Q3 dot 1. So Q1 dot 1, Q2 dot 1, and just put the value of Q3. Q3 is nothing but your Q2 dot 0. This is the value of your Q3. You are substituting this value for Q3 here. So substituting the value Q3 equal to Q2 dot 0. So from these two terms, I can take the Q2 common. So take the Q2 common. So Q1 dot 1 plus Q2 into bracket 1 plus 0 1 bracket complete. Now this is your equation for Q2. Now you compare it with our equation, Arden's theorem. You can compare it. That is nothing but your R equal to capital Q plus R P, and this is having solution, that is nothing but your R equal to Q P star, right? So this R is nothing but your Q2. So this R is nothing but your Q2 here. So I can mark here Q2. Capital Q is nothing but your Q is nothing but this total term, capital Q is nothing but your total term, Q1 dot 1. This is the term, and this P, R is nothing but Q2, and this P is nothing but your this particular term. P is nothing but this term. So same is written here. So it is similar to R equal to Q plus RP, where R equal to Q2, yes, correct. Then Q equal to Q1 dot 1. Total term you have to take here. Total term you have to consider here. And P equal to 1 into bracket 1 plus 0, 1. This entire term is becomes your P now. So solution is given by, the solution to this equation is given by R equal to QP raised to star or QP star. So Q is nothing but our, so I can write in this format. So Q2 equal to the value, which, what is the value of capital Q? Capital Q is nothing but your Q11. I have written here Q1 dot 1 into bracket value of P is nothing but 1 plus 0, 1. This is my P, and raised to star, because you have to take the star closure here. So raised to star is mentioned here. So this is the equation. This is the equation for Q2. Remember this. That's why it is marked bold here. Q2 we have find out here in terms of Q1. Q2 it is find out in terms of Q1, that is equal to Q1 dot 1 into bracket 1 plus 0, 1 bracket complete raised to star, right? Now consider the equation Q1. Now consider the equation Q1. So here epsilon plus Q1 dot 0 plus Q3 dot 0, that is equal to again epsilon plus Q1 dot 0 plus now Q3. Replace this Q3 again. Q2 dot 0 is the value of Q3 dot 0, right? Then again further solving it. So Q1, so Q2, what is the value of Q2? So just now we have find out this value, put this value here. So here epsilon plus Q1 dot 0 plus Q2, entire value of Q2 is nothing but Q1 1 into bracket 1 plus 0, 1 bracket complete raised to star dot this 0 means this double 0, they remains as it is here. This double 0, they remains as it is. We have to replace only value of Q2, only replace the value of Q2, right? So this entire equation now it is in terms of Q1. Now you observe the equation carefully. You will find that on this Q1 is here. You will find here Q1 and Q1. So this 2 Q1 now you can take the common. You can take the common. So epsilon plus Q1 is taken common here into bracket 0 plus this one as it is. So entire term remains as it is. So and this equation now you can compare with your equation, that is R equal to Q plus R dot P, right? And you can easily get the solution. You can easily get the solution. So see here. Now Q1 equal to epsilon plus Q1 into bracket 0 plus 1 into bracket 1 plus 0, 1 bracket raised to star dot 0, 0 bracket complete. That is equal to, it is similar to R equal to Q plus RP, where R equal to this Q1, capital Q equal to epsilon now, capital Q, and this total term is nothing but your P, right? And P is equal to this one. So solution equal to R equal to R equal to QP star, that is equal to Q1 equal to epsilon dot into bracket the total term as it is written as it is. There is no change for this term. So entire term is written here as it is, right? So that is equal to, so epsilon dot any entity means epsilon dot r raised to star, that is equal to r raised to star actually, right? So that is hence the regular expression is, so I can conclude that being Q1 is the final state, it is nothing but my final state. So the regular expression for the given automata is written like this. That's why it is written in the answer in the red color. Getting this point? So it is very simple. There is no difficulty involved here. So just step by step, first write down the state equation and try to solve it towards the final state. And you can observe that if the final state is depend upon some other state, like here Q1 is depending upon Q2 and Q2 is depending upon Q3. So go on reverse way. First solve it for Q3, then solve it for Q3. Ultimately, you will solve it for Q1. And once you solve it for Q1, you are ready with your final answer. That is regular expression for the given automata. Okay. So let us see one more example. Construct the regular expression from given DFA. Now see here, example is same. The example is same here. Only the thing is that you will find here Q1 is the final state as per the previous example, and Q3 now also marked as the final state here. Example is same. The automata is same here. Q1 is having 0 and on 0 from Q3. So Q2 is having this one. This particular one is incoming, and this one is incoming self transition, and Q3 is on only on 0 from Q2. But The difference is that this state is as marked as a final state, and Q3 is also marked as a final state here. So what we have to do here, we have to take the union of the two state equation. We have to find out the state equation for this Q1. We have to find out the state equation for Q3, and we have to make the union of these two final states. Union of the two final state to find out the RE for the complete automata. So let us see step by step. So let us write the state equation for each state: Q1, Q2, Q3. The Q epsilon plus Q1 dot 0, Q3 dot 0 plus Q3 dot 0 for Q1. For Q2, Q1 dot 1 plus Q2 dot 1 plus Q3 dot 1, Q3 equal to Q2 dot 0, right? Since the final states are Q1 and Q3, hence solve equation for final state, that is Q1 and Q3 both, to obtain the regular expression. So try to solve it. Now consider the Q2 equal to Q1 dot 1, same step, plus Q2 dot 1 plus Q3 dot 1. So Q3, replace the value of Q3, so you can have Q3 equal to Q2 0. So I written here Q2 0. Now take common Q2, so we'll get the equation Q1 dot 1 plus Q2 into bracket 1 plus 0 1, and it is similar to your, compare this with this Arrhenius equation, that is R equal to Q plus RP, where R equal to capital R equal to Q2, capital Q equal to Q1, this Q1 1, this entire term, and P becomes your this entire term, that is nothing but 1 plus 0 1 bracket complete, right? And R equal to QP star. This is the solution to this equation. So I can write here Q2, it is now expressed in terms of my Q1. Q2 is expressed in terms of Q1, right? So now try to solve for Q1. Q1 equal to epsilon plus Q1 dot 0, Q3 dot 0, and Q3 is equal to Q2. So Q3, value of Q3 is equal to Q2 dot 0. This is the value of Q3, and Q2, just now we have find out here value of Q2. So entire value is placed here. So here I can write here epsilon plus Q1 dot 0 plus Q1 dot 1 into bracket 1 plus 0 1 bracket complete star dot 0 0, substituting value for Q2. So read it carefully. So these are the values where we are substituting their value accordingly, right? So epsilon into brackets, so take the Q1 common. So I take the Q1 common here, and now this equation now becomes your analogous or similar as compared to your Arrhenius equation, right? So see here. So now Q1 equal to epsilon plus Q1 into bracket the total term here. So it is similar to the equation R equal to Q plus RP, right? And so I can have the Q1 equal to epsilon dot the total term, and the final regular expression for the Q1 state is nothing but this one, the final regular expression for Q1. And another state is the final state, that is nothing but Q3, and sorry, Q2 is equal to Q1 into bracket 1 into bracket 1 plus 0 1 bracket 2 star. So I can have Q1 equal to, what is the value of for Q1? So Q1, the entire term is now you have to place here for Q1. So entire term for the Q1 it is placed here, right? And dot 1 into bracket 1 plus 0 1 remains as it is. 1 plus 0 1 remains as it is. This is the, now this is the value becomes for Q2. This is become for your Q2, and Q3 equal to, see here, what is the value? Why we are written for Q2? Because the Q2, since Q3 is depending upon your Q2, this Q3 is depend upon your Q2. Getting this point or not? So Q1 we have first find out the equation for Q1, then we have to find out the equation for Q2, because Q3 is depending upon Q2. Q3 equation, because Q3, when you write Q3, it is equal to Q2 dot 0. So ultimately you must find out the value for Q2. And what is the value of Q2? So this is the entire equation for Q2. So write the entire equation for Q2 here, dot 0. So this equation becomes your Q3. This equation will become your Q3 equation, right? So here for all three states we have find out the equation. So for Q1 is here, for Q2 we have find out, and Q3 we have find out. Now we have to take the union of two equations, which are the final state. Which are the two final states? Q1 and Q3 are the final states. So we must have to take the union for this final state to get the final regular expression for the given automata, right? So since two final states are in the given DFA, hence the regular expression can be obtained as R, capital R equal to Q1 plus Q3. Means R we have to take here. So Q1, value of Q1 is nothing but this, and value of q3 is nothing but this one. So entire equation you have to write down here. Now see here carefully. So observe this term carefully. Read this term carefully. 0 plus 1 into bracket 1 plus 0 1 bracket raised to star dot 0 0 bracket raised to star plus into bracket 0 plus 1 bracket 1 plus 0 1 bracket raised to star dot 0 0 bracket raised to star dot 1 into bracket 1 plus 0 1 bracket raised to star dot 0. This is the another term. Now you have to think, can I take some common entity? Can I take some common fields here? Yes, I can take the common. So this particular term, so this is the term which I can take common. So this will be the common term here from this total entire equation. So I can write dot into bracket epsilon plus. So this becomes your epsilon because you have taken this entire term as a common outside the bracket. So instead of this epsilon is here, and here you will find here this is the only term. This term will remain only in the bracket itself, right? So the finally I can write here, hence the regular expression is. So this is the regular expression total for this entire automata, and this is obtained by union operator or by adding the state equation of two final states. State equation of two final states. Getting this point? Well, it is very simple. Just you have to go for the final states, right? Okay, there is one more example. Construct the regular expression from given DFA. Q0, Q1, Q2, and Q2 is the final state here. And see here, input symbols are not 0 and 1 here, but they are A and B inputs are there. So let us write the state equation for each state. Q0 equal to epsilon plus, being a start state, I add a epsilon value here, plus Q1, Q0 dot A, Q1 dot A, this is the term and this is the term. For Q1, I can have Q0B. Yes, I can have this Q0 on B input, and this is nothing but Q2 on A. Yes, correct. And for Q2, I can write Q1 on B. So Q1 it is coming on B input, and Q2 is coming on A input. So this is the one Q2 1. Getting this point? So let us start with the final equation, that is nothing but Q2. But see here, Q2 is depending upon when I try to solve the equation of Q2. This we have to find ultimately the value of Q1, and when I go to Q1, I have to take the consideration of value of Q0. So this is a dependency is there. There is a dependency of one state to another state. So let us try this. So Q2 equal to Q1B plus Q2A. So I can have the similar, this equation is similar to R equal to Q plus RP, where R capital R equal to Q2, Q capital Q equal to Q1B. This is the total term, and Q2 and this P is becomes your A, small a becomes your P. So solution is written like capital R equal to QP raised to star. So Q2 equal to Q1B dot A star, Q1B dot A star. This is the, now this I have obtained for Q2, but this Q2 is now depend upon Q1. So where is the Q1? So here is the equation for Q1. Getting this point. So see here. So how it is solved? Consider the state equation of final state Q2, that is Q2 equal to Q1B plus Q2A, and we have solved it for Q2 equal to Q1B dot A raised to star. Now take the equation Q1, that Q1 is equal to Q0B plus Q2A. Now Q0B plus Q2, put the value of Q2. What is the value of Q2? Just now we have find it out. That is nothing but your Q1B A star. This the total value of Q2 dot A. Substituting the value for Q2. So see here Q0B plus. Now you know that A star dot A, that is nothing but your A raised to plus from our identity rule, from the identity rule. So it is same is written here, right? So this becomes Q1 equal to Q0B plus Q1B dot A raised to plus. Now compare this with our equation, Arden's equation. So I get here it is similar to R equal to Q plus RP, where R equal to Q2, Q equal to Q0B, and P equal to, now P becomes your B dot A raised to plus, right? And so the solution is equal to Q1 equal to Q0B. This is the term of capital Q. This is nothing but B A raised to B a raised to plus bracket raised to star here. Getting this point? So I get here value of q1, but value of q1 is still depend upon which value? It still depend upon q0. So I have to solve for q0 state. So see here for q0. Now consider the state equation for q0. So q0 is equal to epsilon plus q0a plus q1a here. So epsilon plus q0a plus q0b. So put the value of q1. So what is the value of q1? So value of q1 is this one. This much is the value of q1 dot a as it is. So everything is now expressed in terms of q0. So take q0 common. So q0 is common here. So your equation becomes q0 equal to epsilon plus q0 into bracket a plus b dot b a raised to star bracket raised to a raised to plus bracket raised to star dot a. Compare this with our Arden's equation, that is r equal to q plus rp. So final solution I get here q0 equal to, so this is the value of q0 equal to a plus b into bracket b a raised to plus bracket raised to star dot a bracket raised to star. Right, this is the value for q0 we have got here. But final state is our q2 is the final state. Our q2 is the final state. So try to obtain for q2, and q2 equal to q1 b a raised to star, and we have to write down the value of q1 here. So value of q1 is nothing but your q0. So this is the value for this is the value of your q1. This q0 dot b into bracket b a raised to plus bracket raised to star dot b a raised to star. And what is the value of q0? So now put the value of q0. This term you have to put here. So putting this value of q0, that is this value is put here. So I get here dot b as it is. So up to this you have put here. Then the rest of the terms is written as it is. This is the value of your q0. So I can write here the regular expression is, this is the regular expression, because this is the regular expression for the final state. So I can say that yes, this is the regular expression for the given finite automata. This is the regular expression, or correct regular expression for the given automata. Getting this point? So okay, so that's all about the conversion of regular expression, conversion of finite automata to regular expression. Means with the help of your Arden's equation, this r equal to q plus rp, we are able to solve the finite automata to get the regular expression. So first write down the state equation of each state. Then once you write down the equation for each state, then try to solve the state equation by comparing that state equation with Arden's equation, and we have to solve for the final state. And if the final state equation is depend upon some other states, then accordingly we have to solve these state equations also by comparing all these equations with the Arden's theorem or Arden's equation, right? So this part is over here, conversion of finite automata to regular expression using Arden's theorem. Now the next part, let us start the final part of this particular unit, and that is nothing but your regular language. So let us see carefully what exactly the definition of the regular language. So regular language are called regular because they have a pattern which repeats in the strings that belong to that particular language. Meaning is that then these pattern make the finite automata for regular language compact, that is finite. So without such a pattern, the machine would need an infinite number of states to handle the infinite language. So every finite language is regular. So meaning is that a regular language means the language which is expressed by your regular expression is, we can, in simple word, I can say that the language which is expressed by your regular expression is called your regular language. And this regular language can be also defined by your finite automata. So in conversely, I can say that the language which is defined by your finite automata, more correctly it is called as the regular language. And this regular language, so already we have discussed that regular language, so finite automata is nothing but the graphical representation of the regular language, whereas the regular expression, it is nothing but the mathematical representation, or it is the mathematical model to represent the regular language, right? Okay, that's all. But why it is called as the regular? So our question is that why it is called as the regular? Because a pattern which repeats in the string, they have the regular pattern. They have the regular pattern means what? The meaning is that, say for example, a plus b bracket raised to star. So it has certain fixed pattern, means your you have the either means any number of this particular language consists of any number of A's and any number of B. Means you have A, you have double A, you have triple A, you have B, double B, triple B, you have AB, you have BA. So they have the particular, one can say, fixed pattern it can have. Or the language, say for example, A raised to star, B raised to star, mean any occurrence of A and B. So you can have A, you can have B, you can have AB, you can have double AB, you can have A, BB. So you can define the language, you can define the expression for that particular language. So pattern is fixed. So, and for this particular fixed pattern, you can have the finite number of states. You can have the finite number of states of finite automata. Getting this point or not? So you can get the finite number of states. Means yes. So if I ask to draw the automata for A star or B star, yes, I can have the Q0 state, I can have the Q1 state, and I can have this particular transition. Say for example, A is here and B is here. So only two states. Though this particular language consists of any occurrences of A and B, but I can have the finite state, only two states that consist in that particular finite automata if I want to represent in terms of graphical representation or in terms of automata representation, right? That's why it is called as the regular language. That's why the language which is defined by regular expression or the automata, finite automata, because it contains only finite number of states, right? So that's why it is called as your regular language. So getting the meaning of regular word. So regular means what? It is having certain fixed pattern. The strings of that particular language, they have some fixed pattern. They have some fixed pattern. Say for example, 0 plus 0 1 bracket raised to plus. So I can define this language. The strings pertaining to this language always starts with 0 and having any number of zeros and ones in that. So this particular, so already we have seen a lot of example on this particular regular expression and defining its particular language. So we'll find that yes, there is a proper sequence, or there is a proper method to write the language which is defined by your regular expression. And once you define the language, yes, it is easy to draw the automata for that particular language. So everything is finite, everything is regular. That's why it is called as the regular language. The language which is defined by the expression and the automata is the regular language. Getting this point? So the next point in the regular language is that so closure properties of a regular language. Let us see the properties, why they are called as the closure properties, or we can call it as a properties or the characteristics of regular language. Characteristics, or you can say these are the one important points to be remembered with reference to our regular language. So regular language are the most well behaved formal language. So it is a kind of formal language. It is a kind of formal language. So already we have distinguished between your formal language and your natural language. Natural language is just like your English language. For example, natural language is nothing but your English language. Formal language means they are defined with the help of your automata, finite automata. The language which is defined by your finite automata, they have some fixed pattern. Means again here, say for example, double A, it does not have any meaning in case of our natural language like in English, but in case of automata language, in case of formal, means in regular language, it has some meaning. Means arrangement of word, we are not focusing on the meaning of AA, but we are focusing on how the characters are organized. Getting this point around? Means AA, say for example, AAA. So if we ask me in terms of English language, so English, it does not has any sense, means it does not have any meaning if I look it only as a English language string. But if I look it as a formal language string, yes, I do find here, yes, in this particular string contains 3A. It contains 3A, or I can write that yes, there is a this is a substring. This is a string contains three number of A's here. Getting this part. So meaning is that regular languages are the most well behaved formal languages. A regular language as a formal language for which we can construct. Now see, very important, for the regular languages we can have the DFA, we can design the non-deterministic finite automata, that is NFA, we can have the regular expression, and we can have the regular grammar. Yes, the most important aspect that we have to discuss in the coming unit, that is nothing but your regular grammar. We can, so these two are nothing but your graphical representation, I can say graphical or automata representation, or I can say a pictorial representation of my language. Yes, no doubt, because here you are having the states, you have multiple number of states starting from Q0, Q1, Q2, etc. dot 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 etc. And you can have the transitions. So in you take any automata DFA or it is a NFA with ENFA etc. etc. Regular expression, it is a mathematical expression, a plus b bracketed to star, or you can have 0 plus 1 bracketed to star dot 1 0. So any way, so I can have the regular expression for the regular language. And one more way is there to define a language, and that is called your regular grammar. It may be either right linear grammar or left linear grammar that we are going to see. But the regular language, there are three ways to define the regular language. Your automata is one way. Remember, see it carefully, listen it carefully. The regular language defined graphically or pictorially by the way of your automata. It may be a DFA or it may be a NFA. It can be expressed with the help of your regular expression. And one another way is nothing but your regular grammar. So with the help of regular grammar, so grammar is like this. I can have a equal to ab, or I can have these are the production rules. They are written in terms of production rules. These are the non-terminals and these are the terminal symbol that we are going to study, right? So these are the three ways to represent the regular language: to accept, match, parse, or generate all the strings in the language and no other strings, right? Some important properties, more properties of the regular language. An important property of regular language is that the class of regular language is closed under union, concatenation, and closure. So closed under union, concatenation, and closure, meaning is that, in other words, if language L1 and language L2 are regular language, then L1 union L2, L1 dot L2, and L1 raised to star, they are also regular. That's why they are called as a closed. Regular language is closed under these three operators: union operator, concatenation operator, and closure operator. So if you take, so in a simple word, meaning is that if there are two regular languages, if you make a union of it, the resultant language is also a regular one. If the two regular languages, if you concatenate it, regular language means what? You are concatenating the strings of that particular regular language. Means you are not going to add, or you are not going to union the language, but you are going to union the string of the languages. Then it ultimately results into union in your regular language, right? So meaning is that union of two regular languages also regular language, concatenation of two regular languages also a regular language, and closure of two regular languages also a regular language. Getting this point? So remember this characteristic. There may be a question on this properties of regular language. The next topic is nothing but your pumping lemma. So see here, what exactly is the pumping lemma? Important point. In the pumping lemma, the pumping lemma is used only to show that a given language is not regular in a proof by contradiction method. So there are various methods for the proof. There is a proof by contradiction. There are some different method for the find out the proof. But here we have to prove that a given language is not regular language by a contradiction method, and that is called that is the use of your pumping lemma here. That is use of pumping lemma. The repeating pattern can be repeated any number of times, because you know that in regular language means what? Yes, this is the language where some pattern, suppose A, BB, or 000 or 111, this is repeating in that particular string regularly. So the repeating pattern can be represented or can be repeated any number of times to generate an infinite set of strings, each of which must belong to a regular language, right? So this is called as the pumping lemma, right? The pumping lemma for regular sets states that every sufficiently long string in a regular set contains a short substring that can be pumped. That can be pumped means that can be retrieved again and again and again. So in other words, if a long string is given, and if we push or pump any number of substrings in any number of times, then we always get a regular set, right? Suppose you have the string like this: 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 1 1. So if this string is given, this is the string. So there is a substring that contains only that contain consecutive one. That contains consecutive one means I can find here, yes, this is the one substring, this is another substring, this is another substring, this is another substring. So there are so many substrings that contains in that particular set of that particular string. So this is the main string, and this is called as a first substring, second substring, third substring, and it contains many number of substrings. So I can push that particular substrings, or I can pump that particular substrings, right? So pumping lemma. So pumping lemma says that these are, it contains multiple number of substrings. So these substrings are also regular. Yes, no doubt, because they are from your regular language. So definitely the substrings that they are also defines your regular language, right? So, and that always get a regular set. Okay. According to pumping lemma for a CFL, there are always two short substrings which are close to each other, and these both the substrings can be repeated as many times as required. So meaning is that, yes, you can have, so you I have find out here one substring. So there are such like this, there are many substrings, they are close to each other in that particular main strings, and you can pump or you can easily push that particular string, a substring in from that particular string. So pumping lemma is useful for this particular purpose, that a given language is not a regular in a proof by contradiction. So use of pumping lemma is to define the language or to prove that this language is not a regular language by the way of proof by contradiction. Getting this point? So there are some few questions based on the topics which we have discussed. Construct the regular expression from the given DFA. So first automata is given here. So Q1, Q2, Q3, and their transitions are shown here. The next another automata is given with the states capital A and capital B with the transitions on 0 and 1. The next automata Q0, Q1, and Q2. Q2 being the final state, right? And there are transitions. Q0 on 0 goes to Q1, Q0 on 1 goes to Q1 itself, whereas Q1 on 0 and 1 both goes to Q2. So this is the third example, the third question. You have to solve it. Then the next one is nothing but capital A, capital B, capital C with the transitions on 0, 1 is given here. So we have to write down the regular expression for this automata. And this is the final one. So total 5 questions, 5 automata I have given here. So we have to solve each automata and find out their regular expression with the last one is Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q3 being the final state, and the transitions are shown here, right? So course outcome, let us see here, conversion of finite automata to regular expression using Arden's theorem that we have discussed. We have also discussed about the regular language, its closure properties, and the pumping lemma in the today's session. So to write the mathematical expression for the formal language, the reference book, always use the reference book. Okay, so let us stop here for the today's session.